book layout, the thesis statement.
Yeah, that's a whole do now.
Yeah, you have to send me my email so I can display.
All right. I'm asking those online to allow me to stop share for 5 minutes. I'm gonna send an email so that your peers can watch it on YouTube. All right. Where is it? What you say? Tell me. I'm the same one.
Oh God, I just realized.
I see it's still a video on.
Yeah. With my literal head looking like crazy.
Like, I just
Right, I can say it from the guild email. Good president.
Yeah. Tell me
So
which
it's
one
the
you sent.
secretary?
Yeah, sure.
You guys okay so far?
Yeah.
No good? No. Relax, man. I'm not going so.
What was that?
What type of foolishness, yeah? You have YouTube link?
I don't know. How me send YouTube link?
Which one are YouTube link? Guys, let's send
That's
YouTube link. Can you hear?
here.
Who must send it to? Let's send it like Carib book report group. No, that Caribbean civilization group. So we get notes from. How do you know that? How do you know this kid? Oh damn. All right, so I got the link. I'm gonna send the link in the YouTube in the group. I'm reporting. Oh my God, I am so. Hello, let me tell you something. Age don't mean nothing. Because sometimes we're not YouTube savvy and we're not technology savvy, and that's just that.
The Wi-Fi working down?
Yeah, it worked perfectly.
It's something I do.
All right, so I sent the book, I sent the link. Somebody's in the group. I go put it on my Instagram too, at Omolora will see. So tell your friend them to go over there and just open. You hear? May I say, new YouTube link.
The Wi-Fi not working on here.
The one, this kind of coming?
Sure.
Okay.
Did you feel this thing? Jesus. Anyways, I came back to the person's line.
Yeah, so what the hell was that?
All right, so I added the YouTube link. So we must have someone. Is that work?
Yeah, it's all right now.
Is it right now?
Yes.
So we like, somebody click on the link and turn off the live, please. And if it's working online, tell your friends. All right, persons in the Zoom. All right, persons in the Zoom. All right, I guess not. Oh, please put it in the Zoom chat.
The link.
Oh, no, I'll do that. Oh, all right. Somebody put it in the Zoom chat. Thank you so much, Angel. We appreciate you. All right, so onward. All right, put your emoji today so we can.
Hold on, I'm pulling up your this. So you're gonna have to run with the computers and make sure I on the same screen for
Yes.
everybody.
All right, so I'm going back to share the screen outside. Have that one screen.
Okay, hold on. I'm sharing my screen. Which is this?
All right, so we're good to go. Where were we? We're talking about introduction. All right. So we have brief biography of personnel, authors information, book layout, and thesis statement. How many went to the man super in the session? Sammy. Who went to Sammy? You went to Sammy? You're training. I did it. I remember you. Yeah. So when I started this book report the first time, I saw Sammy send out some examples, and from that I said, I was told that we'll keep your book report session, I'll keep mine after. Because sometimes we have some really solid notes. He just doesn't know how to say them. Yeah, he doesn't bring them across as he normally does. We have solid notes, sometimes when Sammy comes out with his document, you don't need to do the example. But Sammy has a difficult, explaining. And then normally after my sessions, God does a whole John, can you put it on YouTube so you can have conflict factors? Yeah, yes, yes, I'm hearing you. Are you hearing me? All right. Thank you, Judy. I appreciate you, girl. All right, people. So let's go. So we already did what is the question asking. We are the contents of the essay. All right. So then we move into the body of the essay. Your body of the essay consists of the themes that you are planning to discuss based on what you found in the book. And after you've highlighted your themes, you're going to go into it. Each section is partnered off with its own discussion. So just look what I have here. We're going to go and delve in it. So after we do the introduction, we're going to the body of the essay. We have our first point, which is our first theme. Second point, second theme. And we continue all the way down to our fourth point. Your teachers asked to give how much? 3 to 5, yeah? 3 to 5 normally means 4. Yes, hon? You're not hearing me? Oh, Acha. I am so sorry. I was muted. I'm so sorry. Right. So 3 to 5 normally means 4. I normally used to tell my people to do 5 because they used to ask for 5 to 7. But I think after a while they realized that 5 to 7 cannot fit in 2,500 and make sense. 3 to 5, if you can't bother do 3, if you want to carry your grade to 4, and if you want to be extra, do 5. Oftentimes I would stick to the middle person, which is 4, because when you break it down, if you give each theme 500 words, your 2,500 fits in decently. So 3 to 5 themes. So I have my 4 points, and then comes my conclusion and my personal view. Yeah? Who is the person who said they're going to help me? They're going to help me? I need you on YouTube. So when the questions pop up, you can let me know. That's it. All right? So let's get into it. So we don't talk about the 3 parts of the essay. All right? Now, I always say to people that whenever we're doing these books, they always sometimes just have obvious themes, which means that even if you don't know anything about the book, there's more than an 80% chance that these particular themes may be somewhat in the book. It doesn't have to be. It genuinely doesn't have to be. But there's a possibility that if you just don't know nothing, those themes are going to be there. Colorism and racism is always there based on the historical section of the theme. We're not take pictures of. I'm going to send it back to the group. I'm going to send it back, guys. Guys. Oh, no, see? All right, I'm going to zoom in. So you're going to tell me, say you can't see, but you can't see because you don't have on your eyeglass? Tell me no. Come sit here. Come sit here. I'll watch in front of the TV here. Bye. Life sunny, girl. I say go, yeah, no make nothing bother you. All right, so obvious themes. No, I'm not saying it. I was saying after. You'll see why. You'll see why. All right, so obvious themes: colorism and racism, political movements, colonialism, Caribbean identity, not good at controlling this, cultural diversity, resistance and retention, mass migration, classism or social stratification, double diasporic consciousness, education, and religion. These things are oftentimes the ones or the things that you will find within these books. They're the ones that are actually being discussed in class a lot too. Now, mark you, in every single book, there's a particular theme that is discussed that is not always within this. For example, for the book that we're doing right now, and if we're supposed to talk about political movements and also Caribbean identity, let me see those who read the book, what exactly would you zoom in on? You want me to ask about the question? If we are supposed to talk about Caribbean identity or identity on a whole and or political movements, what word Or what aspect would you zoom in on? Well, hello, there's no wrong answers. Come on, man. Let me hear it. You say colonialism? Well, go ahead. Huh? Negative. For some strange reason, within that whole book, that word keeps popping up. The minute you start realizing that for every single page you turn, you see that word, it's about time you start looking what that word means. So if you're supposed to talk about your identity, Caribbean identity, or if you're about to talk about resistance and retention, or you're talking about political movements, negative comes in a lot. And the beauty about these themes is that, oh, forgot that you guys are online. My bad. The beauty about these themes is that they intertwine sometimes. And that's perfectly fine. As long as I have what I usually say to my students, if you see two small things and I make no sense, put them together. Put them together. So even though you might talk about negritude in political movements, you can go ahead and talk about negritude too in Caribbean identity. Yeah? But we are rushed. But the reason why I brought it up was on the basis that, yeah, you can talk about African identity. You can. But the reason why I brought it up was on the basis that every single one of these books that they give us will always have its very own topic that we need to focus on. Yeah. The difference between this book as well from the many other books that we did, this is the very first book I've done in which it's not focused on British colonialism, but rather French. And so the narrative changes completely. If you realize that the reason why the book is 84 pages instead of 56 is because half of the time they write something in French, then open bracket and put it in English. It's completely different. You also look at the stance on when they were emancipated from when we were emancipated. You understand me? Their idea of colonialism versus our idea of colonialism, which is oftentimes something you can put into in your essay. This essay allows you to reach outside that, you know, just right away. But let's get into it. So these are the obvious themes that I oftentimes see in the book, no matter where it happens. May I go see the book? And you know why I know? There's something in this book about education. Might not be a lot about religion, but there's something in this book about education. There's also, girl, this is a safe space. About education. There's also, yes, baby? Tell them, say, hold on. So let them know, persons on YouTube, persons online, persons in this space, we'll get into that particular part of the essay in terms of what we put from what we put, but you can't put them if you don't know what you have to do. So hold your horses on the themes, hold your horses on what exactly are examples. You can't put it there unless you know what to do. Yeah? You with me so far? All right. So let's talk about the introduction. The introduction of your essay is oftentimes the grabber and the pave way for the reader, which is your lecture. Yes? It tells them what is present in the book and consists of the typical layout. This is a typical layout of a book report. The reason why I say it's a typical layout is because there's nothing special about it. But if you put it there, you're guaranteed at least 3 out of 5 if you work 5 for that particular part of it. So it's not extra. You can extra it up. They love when you extra it up. Which is where Sammy comes in as well. You have a document that gives you like a whole heap of nice way to start your introduction. Take one, you can do anything. But this is the basic way in which you actually start your introduction. First thing, who the hell is Amy Caesar? There must be a reason why we're writing this book about the person. So you start your introduction by one, letting them know who is Amy Caesar. You answer the question. Who is he? Where is he from? Who are his parents? What is he known for? What exact role has he played in Caribbean society? Who is he? I'm asking, by the way. Who is Amy Caesar?
Politician, poet, because
Alright. Love that. Thank you for participating, hon. Yes. Where is he from?
Martin.
From Martinique. Who are his parents? All right. Yes, son. One more question. When was he born?
June 26, 1930.
What can you tell me about his grandparents or his great grandparents? Somebody realize that. Only can write 2 sentences. Somebody here talking their life out. Right. And of course, he's known for the negative movement and, you know, advocacy and making people appreciate who they are as Black people. Yeah? And then, what exact role has he played in the Caribbean society? You just answer that question. So we move from that now to ask yourself this question. Who is Professor Walcott Hackshaw? Now this, we don't need to delve in it. Google her, whatever Google says, first 2 sentences, you're writing. I don't know who she be. Right, so she's a professor at the University of the West Indies in St. Augustine. And then, of course, you might can venture into what she teaches. Yeah? She teaches French literature. And oftentimes, and I want you to also pay very keen attention to this. I will call her a mentee of Amy Caesar. You want to think that? You want to say that she look up to? All right. No, the very reason why you're letting the reader know who the professor is because you need to showcase that this person is worthy of writing this book for you to. Now tell me something. If your little sister or brother did write this book out of nowhere, and you see pop up in a library, the hell and powder house, why is it here? Who will tell you so my brother and sister know anything? So when you write that 1 or 2 sentences about the author, it's just so the reader knows that your author is like a pian person. They're in that position and they're able to write that book because they're qualified to. That's the only reason we included her here right now. So people know that she can write. Yeah? Then they ask a little about the characteristics of the book. Not oftentimes I tell people, say, oh, it's a 12. So it's an 85-page book. How much chapters?
3.
3 chapters that delves into the life of Amy Caesar and his contribution to the Caribbean society and who we are as a people. That's it. Oftentimes, these books are also a part of something that we have here called the Caribbean Biography Series. So books that are published by the University of the West Indies that focuses on individuals who have contributed to Caribbean society. This book is probably one of them. It is? Yeah, oftentimes put it in there too. Now here's the thing. I literally just gave you a basic write-up of what your introduction should be. It doesn't have to be word for word. Yeah. Oh my God. Are you hearing me now? Are you hearing me now? You hear me now? Beautiful. Yeah. All right, good. So the reason why I would say to you, do not write it exactly word for word how I do it. You have to twist it up, put the niceness to it. Can't blank so. It's because there's somebody who is going to do it word for word exactly how I do it. And you don't want to be that person because you won't be the only person. So I would recommend that you put like a, yeah. Everybody have access to Sammy's document? I'll send it. Just take my number after, I'll send it. Yes, Amanda? Yellow shirt, do you have a question? No, man. Go ahead, baby.
Even though should be that introduction and also for personal view part of it.
I would like-
But should we also include the fact that maybe the book only got a credit?
Because that's not true.
No, I'm just saying,
Yeah, man. But if that is your personal view, it means that you have completely missed the book. Because let me tell you, the reason why is because this woman has earned her role in society. Now, if it is that you want to bring up a debate and it shouldn't be in the book anyways, that the reason why she even looked into literature is because her father was good and she grew in it. Fine. But the reason why this book is credited is not because of her father. It's honestly simply because this girl, this woman, a top girl. So she, yes, her father dead there, but she has made a name for herself. She's a professor at the University of West Indies. We don't have a lot of professors. We have a lot of doctors. Nobody can get their doctorate. But to get to be a professor, I'm telling you as a girl president, you literally have to be approved by a board. Not easy. So she has earned her key. You understand? Yeah, top girl. So give on to say, why in your personal view, remember, your reason knowing that she's Derek Walcott's father is because you read the book, or is because you do your own research? So it has not contributed to the book.
I just wanted to add something more. That it should be University of the West Indies in St. Augustine, just so that no one gets it confused.
Yeah, guys, don't get it confused. It's Louis St. Augustine, yeah? And we move. Thank you so much, Angel. We appreciate you. Right. And then after we've done these three things, we move into the most important. Right now, come up from the screen. Your thesis statement. We've all gone through the concept. You too, me. My friend on YouTube. Everybody over there, okay? Yeah. We all go through the concept of a thesis statement. Yeah? Now, your thesis statement is the final section of your introduction. After this, we don't need no other sentence. We don't care. And the minute you put a sentence after that, you've automatically sacrificed your marks. So your thesis statement is the final section of your introduction, and it tells the reader what the entire report will be about. And it must include your 3 points / themes at least. That's it. So after you don't talk all of this fanciness, you now need to let them know what exactly you're going to be discussing in your book report. Yes, baby.
So if we have 4 points, if we have 3 points, we have 4 paragraphs.
What?
We have 3 points in the thesis, right? And we should have 4 paragraphs in the body, like.
Who tell you that?
You said we should have 4, just to be safe.
Me say 3 points if you want, 4 points if you want to be safe, and 5 if you're extra. The option is up to you. But what I have here is must include 3 points at least. So put the least.
Yes, if we want to do
4?
if we want to do 4 paragraphs, we have to have 4 points.
Well, not paragraphs. Your thesis
In the body.
statement tells the writer or the reader rather what is going to be in the body of your essay. You see the question we ask yourself, we analyze the themes, your thesis statement is going to be listing the themes. The things like racism, Caribbean identity, those are the things that are in your thesis statement. Yes? Are we good so far? Let's do an example together. All right? So let's write one. And I always say to persons that whatever I put in the example won't necessarily be true. It's honestly just something we're writing together. So let's do some examples, people. And we'll do it in the basic setup that we do have. I'm gonna need you to come right. I know you don't have your glasses on, but today's the day and you're gonna do it, girl. Everybody seeing the screen, yes? Is everybody seeing the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So let's do one together. So we talk about how we are going to do the essay, yes? By first defining who Amy Caesar is. So let's get 2 sentences. Anybody
Don't be scared. I'm not going to write it. And we are going to need somebody to write it. So let's go. Who is Amy Caesar? Give me the person's full name, please.
What's your name? Fernand.
A-I-M-E. My girl. All right now. A-I-M-E. We all know where the apostrophe is. C-E-S-A-I-R-E. That's his full name in the book? That's all I give you? No first, no middle? Give me the name, guys. Spell it for me, please. I'm at F-E-R-N. Uh-huh. So Amy Fernand David, and his last name is
Cesar.
That's right. So Amy Abatamaha, let's see, I-R-E. Who was he? Who is he?
A poet, politician,
Was a politician,
politician.
C-I-A-N. You write that? Girl, what may I do? Girl, what may I do? You're right, the thing together. So this is what connects to the Zoom. That is what connects to YouTube. It's a two different screens. So it's a politician, poet, and author.
It's something else, like
No man, hello,
playwright.
that
It's a
can't go on
playwright.
the thing. Remember, we're doing a basic example, so we're not putting everything there, yeah? If you want to fancy up yours, that's fine. What we're doing here is doing an example together so that you know what to do when you go to write your own. You understand me? So Amy Fernand was a politician, poet, and an author who was born in
Martinique.
Martinique, T-I-N-I-Q-U-E. When?
June 26, 1913. I think.
Hello, we have to know his birthday. Come people. On what? June 26. June 26, 1913. He was born to who and who? I'll rotate the laptop to me, Freddy. All right, good. So he was born to?
The carrot he was born to?
What we put in? Mother and father? Put mother and father.
He was born to mother and father?
Yeah, mother and father, but you must put the names, yes? Again, we're just moving. Mother and father. And
Siblings?
how many siblings? 5 siblings. As a matter of fact, he was born to mother and father as the what? As the second of 6 children. Yeah? No, it is up to you if you want. Yes, son? That's what I was just gonna say. It is up to you if you want to include the occupation or not. If you wish to, it's fine. I would recommend that you do on the basis that it's going to tell a lot about who he is. So his father was a tax one.
Tax officer.
Mm-hmm.
And his mother
Father
a
was
teacher.
a tax officer, and his mother was a seamstress, yes? What the hell is that? Huh? No, I'm sorry.
Was a tax collector?
Let's just put it there, yeah?
Tax collector, you say?
Is it tax collector or tax officer? Taxation officer? And his mother a housewife. Are you guys okay so far? Wanna understand? Housewife and seamstress. Yeah? If you wish to put with school, fine. But it will literally have to be one sentence. So he went to, and you put the high school, HIGHSCHOOL, and after attended the, you put university or whatever it is. In, where did he go to school?
What is the?
No, and they go no school, no Port de France. Port de France is his high school. Paris, France. Yeah? Now, we do all of that. We're gonna talk about the professor. Yes? The author of this book. You all right, baby?
You went to high school and then what?
Girl.
Yeah, see.
Oh, Jesus, yes. He went to open bracket, close bracket high school, and after attended the open bracket, close bracket university in Paris, France. Persons in the chat, are you okay? Huh? Yes, go ahead. The person raised their hand. Yes, Uriel. Yes. Yeah. You mean, wait, you mean when you're doing your theme on education? No, no, you're not. No, you're not. If you put it in the body of the essay, no, you're not. All right. So the author of this book, who is the author?
Elizabeth, well,
Professor Elizabeth Walcott Hackshaw served as a professor at the University of the West Indies at the UWI, St. Augustine. You okay, hon?
she named Elizabeth Walwa.
Professor Elizabeth Walcott Hackshaw served as a professor at the UWI, St. Augustine. I should teach who? And taught creative writing. And creative writing. Yeah? And it's up to you if you want to put her relation to. What am I name? Right. And then we move from there to talk about the fact that, let me put this properly. This book is a part of the, of the Caribbean biography series, yes, and consists of 3 chapters that delve into the life of Caesar, Caesare, and his contribution to the Caribbean people. All right. You guys seen? No, it doesn't matter who you speak about first in the introduction. It's up to you. Persons on YouTube, okay, hon? You guys understand how to write your introduction or a basic introduction at that? And that is it. We've completed some very important parts of our introduction. Together, we can make it happen. Now, after we've done this part, here comes the hard part, which is the thesis statement.
I got telegram.
From this book.
Mm.
That.
All right. From the book, there were many powerful themes identified that reflects the Caribbean society, including that we have, and then we start to list our 3 to 4 themes that we plan to delve into within the book report. Go ahead. Go again one more time. So after we've done all this, we now venture into our thesis statement. There's a document I have for the thesis statement. I'm going to share it with you. The same Sammy document. Let me show you it. Give me a minute, man. Gmail. Bear with me. Not tech savvy. Can you see the your president? No, this is the overview. Where's my cellular? See there, passing. Well, the battery dead again. So I'll send the document later on. Yes. Again, I'm easy to reach. I'll give you my number at the end of the, and we're good to go. Share screen. Amy, share. Well, where were we? So this is my thesis statement, my very basic thesis statement. From the book, there were many powerful themes identified that reflects the Caribbean society, including, and I started with my themes. 3 to 4, we're gonna just write 3. Identity, resistance, and education. That is my introduction. After this, me not be gonna further in my introduction. I could say, from the book, there were many powerful themes identified that reflect the Caribbean society, including identity, resistance, and education, which will be discussed in this book report. We could say that. Do we understand so far? We have together completed the introduction of the book. Your themes don't have to be this. As a matter of fact, we'll go through some themes, but this is your simple, can get a grade introduction that we worked on together.
Somebody have exactly this. No? Somebody's gonna have exactly this.
Yes, when I have exactly this. Not ask guys, you know. We not ask guys. Now, can I say, normally after these book reports, I open the entire day tomorrow for students to send me their documents and I read them and give them a feedback. They send me via WhatsApp, I give them a number, they send it to me, I read it, I comment, I send you a voice note how to fix it, and we're done. When my cutoff time comes, I don't care if you're dead, the cutoff time comes. But I sacrifice, it's always either tomorrow or entire day Friday, but you have me for that day. You can come on the office, you can call my phone, you can send me an email, you can send me a WhatsApp. I will literally read your document. And I tell you, based on doing that, couple people send me back this year. They send me back the document we've done in the class. And to make it worse, when I go into the body of the essay, I always give a disclosure that what we're writing there is not true. How we make it up, just to give an example. So we come up with some people who say this and that we don't exist. And they give it back to me. So I'm saying to you, no, do not be the person who gives it back. Do not be that person, because I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to look at it, I'm going to say noted, and then I'm just not going to go any further, because we've had this discussion for a reason. Do not give me back this. If you're going to give me back this, tweak it. Because this could work. This could work, you know. But my God, have faith that somebody's going to write this too. Yeah? But anyways, this is my introduction for my book report. Give or take, it's 100, 200 words. But that's my introduction for my book report. Start out, sealed, and we move. It doesn't have to be this basic. You can add way more information. But this is a basic introduction that will get to your grades. All right? Are we good so far in the introduction? Does everybody understand the introduction? We're now going to move into the body of the essay. Yeah? Go ahead on with your question. There's a word unit for the book report.
What if you want to write like?
So if you want to write 2,000 words in your introduction, that's on you. But know that you have 2,500 words to do. You have 3 to 4 points to give. You have a body, no, you have an introduction, you have a conclusion. I would say 250 introduction, 250 conclusion, and then you split up the 2,000 between your points. Yeah? Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Somebody said this is exactly how their introduction was written. That's beautiful. So we move to the body of the essay. All right? We're moving to the body of the essay. You know, so normally I would turn on my camera so you guys can see me. Not the day, man. Another day, another dollar. So the body of the essay has a typical layout just as much as the introduction of the essay. There's a method that we use when we are writing essays. We call it the PEAL method. Point, examples, explanation, link. PEAL. For each theme, we PEAL. Point, example, explanation, link. Bless me. YouTube. I'm a doctor. YouTube. Are we good? Yeah, check it coming. Girl, are you me have faith in her? All right. So P for P is to give your points. Tell your reader exactly what the theme or the point is you're identifying and define that theme or that point. Remember when we talked about that thing called scholarly articles and scholarly resources and everything? It comes in the definition of your theme. So say for instance, and please understand that some things just won't have a definition, and that's fine. Because there's no, let me give a definition. For example, my first point or theme is identity. Yes? The beauty about identity is that you can put it however you want. In this book, we could look at identity as Caribbean identity, in which, you know, persons decide that they want to go back to the roots and they want, or we can look at it as African identity, in which negritude, etc., comes about. But say, for instance, I give my point by saying the first thing that is highlighted within this book is identity.
Right.
According to Martin Luther John, identity is defined as, and you define identity based on that scholarly study. I found a loophole in which I Google identity scholar and somebody will pop up. Normally, what they expect you to do is to go sit in the library and pick up 6, 7 books to find out one definition. You're mad? And me have Google, but don't do that. You should read, you know. But when your back is against the wall, cultural identity, is that okay? Yes, it is. So identity in itself is such a wide topic in this book that you can't go wrong with that as one of your themes. This person just highlighted, thank you, Monique, that there's also cultural identity within the book. And there is.
And French identity.
Huh?
And
And French identity. But you can also talk about, when you talk about French identity, in terms of defining or differentiating yourself as an African towards a French man. Yeah, that's something which is what they did a lot of in the book. Try to disassociate yourself from just being French, you know? But whenever you delve into identity and you define identity, you are now given the opportunity to explain or give your examples or explanation on where identity is seen in the book. So you can say, there are examples of identity in the book, in chapter 7, where, what am I meaning?
Mr.
Caesar wrote a poem that talks about XYZ.
Yeah.
There's also an example of identity in the book in which Caesar came up together with the next man, Senegal and XYZ, to form the concept of what negritude is. And you're going through the book, back and forth to find examples. I normally do two or three examples in the book. So after you give your examples of where this is found in the book, you start to explain using scholarly sources and articles. What I mean by that, you now need to either Google a historian or a sociologist who speaks about identity. It's easy. Literally Google sociologists and identity, historians and identity. Yes, ma'am? Can you link Marxism to identity? And there you go, you have a scholarly source. So the concept is, somebody let me Google please. The concept is to literally find somebody who is credible, just like how we had Professor Walker to be credible, to talk about identity. If it's a case in which you need someone to speak about the history of Caribbean people refusing to identify themselves as Africans, let it be. There are people who talk about that. Yeah. If you can use a what? Like what? Well, hang on, I'm not hearing you at all. You mean the information in terms of like explaining what identity is? I'm not going to lie to you. I heard nothing. So I'm just going to repeat and you tell me if I'm on the right path. Are you asking me, when you speak about cultural identity, are you saying that there's someone in the book that speaks about cultural identity? Who? Yeah, you can. But that's the thing. I don't know if you're talking as an example or an explanation. So if you can find a literal talk to me, I can tell you. Yeah? No problem. So we Google African identity and scholars, yeah? We get things from Journal of African Union Studies. We get from a document called African Identity and Emergence of Globalization. And then if you want to just backspace on it and say African identity after colonialism. There are also people that pops up as well. So the meat of the matter is, you need to find persons who support your point. about African identity, cultural identity, Caribbean identity. But there are persons out there that speaks about it. It's one Google search away. So we already doing fine. We give examples from the book. We're explaining based on the articles that we've gotten. Can we use pronouns in the essay? You can use I, we. Very third person. Yes. Go ahead. No, so he's asking if after colonialism, would they still be colonized by the French? Don't know. I think the people on Zoom are very shy. All right, do me a favor, hon, because I'm assuming that my laptop is very low. Can you type your question in the chat? I normally see it. How are we on YouTube? We're good on YouTube? Right. So after explaining to the reader using scholars and references how this point and example is linked and what draws you to see the examples as valid, we now link everything together. All we're doing here in that particular part is justifying why this point is enough to be in your thesis. Sometimes it's a one sentence, and this is exactly why identity is an important theme defined us as a Caribbean society. Normally it's literally one sentence, and then you pave your way for your next point. We understand how to write a piece. You want us to do one together?
Yes, yes.
All right, let's do one together. All right, so the question in the chat that my friend is asking is, seeing that they're still colonized by the French, would you search after colonialism if they're still colonized? Yeah, you will. Because even though they're technically literally colonized, they still have created their identity as a people. Yeah? So it's up to you what you want to write in that book report. Post-colonialism, they do. And we do also have to understand that the concept of colonialism now, even though we have some countries who are still not independent, the concept of colonialism then is completely different from the concept of, being a colony now. It's completely different. You guys ready to do an example together?
Yes.
Are we ready? All right, so one theme. One theme that sparked the reader's interest was the concept of identity. I am now making my disclaimer to everyone on Zoom, on YouTube, and on the Google Meets. The information we're putting here is not true. It is not credible and must not be used in your essay. We are only, for the sake of time, using examples so you understand how to write the body of your essay. Do not put these in your essay. Identity, as defined by Mark Jacobs, and I don't know, what are you doing, MLA or APA?
MLA.
That's beautiful. That is the one part of the book report I cannot help it. I don't know how to cite. I don't know how to cite. I don't want to learn how to cite. That is on you to go figure out. All the best. But I swear to God, you cannot ask me about that part. I don't know how to do. All right? I'll learn one day. Not now, bro, but I'll learn. It's like I'm annoyed by the concept of how we cite at University of Sydney, but I allow it, you know? So defined by Mark Jacobs, and I'm gonna put sites based on how
In
we're
brackets?
supposed to do it. Yeah, put it in brackets. Identity of this as defined by Mark Jacobs is and I gave a solid definition for identity in the group. What was it? Anybody in the Caribbean group? Somebody give me a definition for identity, please. Please and thanks.
Just anything.
Oh, no. Google identity, no? Oh, no, Google identity definition. Hello, I can't. You know what identity?
But I'm now, as a matter.
Guys, are we Googling? Thank you, Alan. What are you saying? The fact of being who, fact of being who or what a person or thing is. All right, somebody saying for MLA, when citing a book, you put the last name of the person you're quoting, paraphrasing, and the thing in bracket. You hear that, guys? No, on and on. Yeah? Oh, for MLA, when citing a book, you put the last name of the person you're quoting, paraphrasing, and the page number.
What do you mean by paraphrasing?
I won't say the word exactly. So man will say, the boy went over the hill, and I will say, the boy went over there. So I paraphrase what he said. The paraphrasing is like, what me say? It's like a twist the word.
Yeah,
mean the
yeah, we know
exact
what that
same
means,
thing.
but like, oh, you cite that, like,
Hmm?
so it would be like defined by Jacob in this case. That is cite.
No, man. The paraphrasing part of this part that says, yeah, like that. Paraphrasing for this is identity is defined by Mark Jacobs. The paraphrasing part would be the part of who or what the person is. That's the paraphrasing part. Who or what the person.
But if it's the last name, Mark, that's the funny, right?
No, if there's a last name after, all right, this is where you cite it. But based on what the MLA person is saying, is that you will cite it as saying identity is defined by Mark Jacobs. Identified by Mark Jacobs is the fact of being who or what a person is. And then here you would put Jacobs. I will put 10. Yeah. Jacobs, comma, 10.
Comma, 10.
Yeah.
What 10 mean?
Hmm?
What does
Which page
10?
you get on?
Oh.
All right, so here we have already done the P. The P in the P. We have defined what it is and we pointed out our points. You good? Everybody understand that part so far? Yes, everybody? You good? Now we are going to do the first E, which is examples. Let's venture into Caribbean identity. As a matter of fact, let me put something. There are many aspects of identity. We all know what I'm trying to write. There are many aspects of identity found within the book, such as Caribbean identity, African identity, and cultural identity. Yeah? Good. Caribbean identity can be found in chapter 8 of the book. What you bet? What you bet me? Yeah. Bet you bet me bottom dollar. Which one we looking for? Caribbean identity.
And it's more in chapter 8 of the book. 3 chapters in the book.
Hmm?
3 chapters in the book.
Yeah, I know there are 3 chapters in the book, but like I was explaining earlier, for the sake of not, I would love that students do not copy exactly what I have here because it's not true. So if I put 8 and you put 8, that's on you. You understand me? But I did give a what that thing called? A disclaimer that what I have here is not true. So let's go. Caribbean identity can be found in chapter 8 of the book. Give me some sort of example. Anything. Huh? Hmm? Huh? Give me last name. When, yeah.
Chapter 8 of the book, when?
No, man, give me something close. When, all right. When Caesar returned to Martinique, yeah, Nique, and started the publishing of Trapeze, yeah. So curious, yeah, we're gonna say
And
Trapeze. Started the publishing of Trapeze. He had a magazine, girl. And I read the book now. So Caesar had a magazine that came out, and I think they did it bi-monthly or bi-weekly. I think it's referring to natural land, but it's in French and the last word is native. Yeah, native land. Yes, girl. So his particular magazine was either released bi-monthly or bi-weekly, I don't know. But what it did, it spoke about, negritude, who we are as a people and everything. It was making a lot of resistance on the basis that the white people them say, it's a little bit too black. Yeah, it's a little bit too black, and they banned it. Yeah, but it was yesterday.
Where we feel betrayed by them.
By the white people.
Yes.
The bourgeoisie, it was later down in the book. It was later down in the book. So this was more at the start of the book when he left. So he had left Paris, came back to Martinique, and he wanted to keep that concept of them being black people and negritude alive.
And he started to teach it in school.
And so he started teaching it in school, which is a solid example too, So he started teaching it in school and he started to publish magazines that look like, you all right, girl? All right, good girl? Yeah, man, Miss Taylor. You're good. You Miss Taylor. Yeah. So he taught it in school. So he was a teacher at his old high school. And he started educating himself about what it means to be appreciative of yourself and your culture and your history. Yeah? He wasn't met with much match there. And students actually started taking a liking to what he was talking about. So he came there with the concept of what Marxism is about and surrealism. They loved that. Them back us her and them a growth. And then he took it a step further and went into start releasing the magazine alongside other persons who also came back to Martinique. And it was okay when he was doing it in the school because it wasn't large scale. But it became an issue when there's a magazine coming out every now and then, telling people to start to embrace who they are and understand that, listen, we're more than what France defines us. So what had happened, let me stop, right? Are you guys okay? What had happened is, yes, hon, I don't know that there are 3 chapters, but it's for the sake of us writing. So even though all is going on and persons are becoming educated, and so it poses an issue because the more educated you become, the more problems it can cause for the white man. And so what they did is they reached out to wrote a letter and said, listen, this is too much, man. This is race, and this is white man tell the black man say he's being racist. And so that happened, I think, the 10th of May and the 12th of May, Cesar and his team wrote back a letter saying, you know, this is not the racism that you are defining it to be. So yeah, it was more of a racism. You see what's in I read the book. So, and what had happened was that they banned it. Then decided to listen, you're not taking no takeaway, no more publishing. But what that book or what that publishing did was assisted in people in Martinique understanding that they're way more than what the French decided who they were. Yeah? So let us finish right. Yes, this was the one where they criticized and sent the letter to him. The publishing of Chapter, which focused on, what it focused on? Educating what are they called?
Martinicans, yeah.
Yeah,
Martinicans.
the people of, we're gonna put the people of Martinique. The people of Martinique, and I know it's getting late. If people leaving, that's fine. The people of Martinique on what? On who they were.
And self-acceptance. Self-acceptance.
Yeah, as a Caribbean people and self-acceptance. Yeah, you can put Black consciousness. So it's completely up to you what you want to include within that concept of Caribbean identity. You can venture off into Caribbean identity was also seen within the education system.
What's right now?
Yeah, man. Caribbean identity was also seen within the education system. Education system. Yeah. Where Cesar influenced the students to be proud of who they are. They are Black. And then we talk about negritude, and we can say African identity is seen within the negritude movement. And for the sake of time, we're going to put in brackets, explain what negritude movement.
African identity was seen within the
African identity is seen within the negritude movement. Explain what negritude is and, you know, what it was in the book. Yeah. We understand so far? This is a lot, you know. This is a lot, and we're just giving shortly, but this is the basic part. And then, so we have now one. Given the points, the P in points are, baby girl?
Yeah.
We've given the examples, and now we're going to explain. Now, when we talk about explain, this is where the historical part of it comes about and the social part of it. Yes? So the historical part of it, we can talk about the fact that Caribbean identity has been making its move from as early as post-colonialism within British society. Yeah. Within British society. Yeah. Give me something else in Caribbean. Caribbean identity, I have Caribbean identity has been making its move from as early as post-colonialism within the British society, with individuals such as, and then you list some individuals such as Beryl McBurney, Claude McKay, one girl, Beryl McBurney,
in the British societies.
has been making its post-colonial within British society
Mhm.
with by individuals, A-list individuals such as Beryl McBurney. That was a book I did, by the way. Beryl McBurney. She was a white woman who danced. A brown woman who danced.
Mark Bernie.
Yeah, Beryl McBurney. BERYL Claude McKay.
BURNIE.
BURNIE.
Claude McKay is from where I'm from, James. That's why I know him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Claude McKay.
Went to Claude McKay High School.
I'm a girl. And you can give a next person.
Mhm.
Who we giving? Marcus Garvey came before Cesar. He was there before Cesar. And Marcus Garvey. Yes, people. And then we can put a social explanation too, right? To this day, the Caribbean society still battles in creating its own identity as we face influences from globalization. You don't realize that? You don't realize that we're so fascinated by Drake and Cardi, and if you happen over America, put the bottom of the Caribbean.
With its own identity.
And then you can also say, if you don't want to do this, that the Caribbean itself, go ahead. Is a melting pot of culture, and as such, it defines itself not based on its previous colonizers, 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 I hope that's how it's spelled, but has more into its own Caribbean identity. Yeah. And that's it. So we just did the explanation of it. And then the last part, which is it is with this point, it is with these points that the reader sees the importance of identity being highlighted within the book. And that's your first point. That is your first point. You don't need nothing else. I mean, they can put a little bit more. Yeah, man, remember saying no, bro, we can put a lot more. Remember, no, we have not put our citing. We have not put what negative is. We put seriously. Yeah. So there's so much more that could be included. But we just done right. Before Steve, go ahead, Miss YouTube. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. She's asking, somebody has asked if we can join into a next theme when discussing a theme. I, for one, if I was writing this book, being the enough person I am, would have said that Caribbean identity came about because of education. And I would say that on the basis that all the persons who came back to the Caribbean to foster the idea of Caribbean identity other than left for the university of one different country, who never got Britain, went to France. So for me, Caribbean identity came about through education. Had they not gone to Britain or France, they would not have found that zeal within that community to appreciate who they are as Black people. They wouldn't have. That's a matter.
No, we can't use it because everybody can use it.
They can use it. Now see a book everybody read. But I think this is your paragraph. This is a simple basic paragraph. This is a B plus. I swear, this is a B plus. No, they can't. It's the same book. Hold on, I got mark it though. To read it. You guys read the same
If
book.
they submit before you, it will show up, say.
No, it's also not your lecture who marks it. It probably won't be a tutor either. There's like a group of people who marks it. I know that kind of lecture in my but I got 80. Go ahead, Miss You too. Yeah, I got to do that now. You wanna see?
More quickly.
I can't hear you. Go again. No man, keep your mouth on. Just repeat that. All right, so somebody first asked, how do we transition from one theme to a next? That is also something that Sammy did make clear in his little document. But normally I just do this. In addition to the theme discussed, we also look at the theme of, or we say, another theme found in the book is simple translation, you know, fancy. Unless you want to be fancy, you don't need anything fancy. As a matter of fact, you could say racism is a next theme that was highlighted in the book. Yeah? And then you start defining it. So they don't need any big bad switch. Yeah, just keep it simple. But yeah, go ahead.
You can talk about self-hatred,
Hold on.
because in the book,
Persons raising your hand in the Zoom, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't get to see you. So I would recommend that you wrote
question.
you understand me? Yeah, rather you write the question. I've seen the hand, but I didn't see the question. So let me go through for the question. But guys, let us run through so we understand. I'm coming back to you here, Uriel. Do we understand how to write a theme? It is as simple as that. No man, look what I do, man. Go ahead, Benny. Go ahead, Miss You too. Hold on, YouTube. Friend on Zoom, I'm not hearing you. My laptop is very low, so I would recommend that you write the question than say, because I'm not going to hear you. Yes, please. Thank you so much. But this is us. And once again, I want to say for the 50th time, what I've written here is not necessarily true. Yes, there are examples that are similar, but they are not necessarily true. You can use it at your own. I don't even know. But yeah. But this is it for your discussion about what identity is. It could go, this was just big. You could have told me so much more things about identity from start to the finish of the book. Because this is about the first 2 paragraphs. No, first chapter, we never read chapter 2 yet, with only these examples. This is literally just chapter 1. And it's so key. You should to know okay things. But we have that. Yes, thank you for writing the question. Go ahead, Miss You too. What was the next question?
It's funny that when you are reference the next meeting.
Oh, wait, before you go there. Persons on YouTube, online, and here, 2 to 3 examples will do well. 2 to 3 examples will do well. If you're going to delve in a next theme, in addition to the theme you have, it will be good to find an example. So right here, we've written 2 examples. We could have done an next one, I swear. We could have done 2 more. But when you're listing the examples, remember there's going to come an explanation part, and it must fit with the examples you're giving. Yeah? Go ahead, Miss YouTube.
Next team within a team itself, like when you were talking about certain identity as your identity, and then you draw reference to how education helps develop that. Is it okay if education is like a theme on its own as well, even though we're drawing reference to it?
Yeah, it can very much stand on a theme on its own. Yeah, because here's the thing. My example about Caribbean identity a while ago, when I drew for education, I just drew for the part that, you know, persons is when you go get solid degree, you start to learn how independent you can be as a people. But we haven't delved into the fact that, you know, there's education happening within Martinique itself. How are you grown? You know, you have informal education, you have formal education, you have education, the fact that Cesar was teaching people about how they must be powerful black man and woman when you're supposed to teach them A, B, and C. But education itself just doesn't end there. So you can very much have it. You can do that. Yeah.
Does they also ask in a way to marry a black self, or that includes following social black?
Yeah, I think you can. I don't think they have a problem. I've seen Mayor website quite a few essays I've read, and I never seen them give a problem. Once you know, send you come up with the definition. Go ahead, Miss you too. This will come with it.
Family members of didn't migrate, that they would still express themselves.
Yeah. No, what does that mean? If they didn't migrate?
They didn't
But-
migrate, they still express themselves, you would just go as a way.
Girl, that is something you must ask yourself in your essay. One could say that had the members of Choppy not migrated to France, they would not have gotten that sense of Caribbean identity. One could say that. So don't ask me, but ask a question in your literal book report. Allow the teacher who is reading your essay to say, wow, this is a smart one. Because the question stands, and I said it a while ago, that is why I said education is what gave us this Caribbean identity. Because had we not migrated, we got learn about it. We wouldn't have had it. You know, if you come back to my city, can't tell people them done they say, be proud of your blackness. After I spent my entire life learning that I should not be. So you can literally put that in your essay. One could debate that Caribbean identity would not have been around had persons not migrated. It's important, you can put it in it. But before I go into conclusion, there's also something I always say to students whenever I read the preface and realize that the person who writes the book is somewhat connected to the person the book is about. There's a concept that we have here in history called revisionism. And basically it is someone going back in history and rewriting. Sometimes for the good, sometimes for the better, sometimes for bias. Now, I don't know if anybody has read this book completely. This author had nothing bad to say about Cesar. Like, no runs in your eyes. And it's something you can put in your conclusion of personal view. And, you know, for some strange reason, I could not help myself but feel as if there was some sort of bias on the author's side, based on her close connection to who Cesar. She started the book by saying, I don't know if you guys read the start of the book, but I don't remember what she said. But she started out by giving praise to this man, and she did not stop. No, I don't know. I could not help myself, and I kept saying, you know, how is it? Yeah. So that connection to her is a problem. It's not a problem per se, but it's something food for thought. Yeah. So in your conclusion, you know, it would be good to say, you know, so the teacher know you know your thing say. That's suspicious. Yes, baby?
Appears her like she's credible as an author, but she's not necessarily giving the most accurate information about the author, like
No man, she's credible as an author. Put what? Don't move, baby. Put what on? Yeah, you can put it in the conclusion. You can put it in the conclusion, or when you read the book and you find something that just not make no sense. Like for instance, I read a book about Stuart Hall, yeah? Stuart Hall, a rich, rotten rich man, you know. And his mom emphasized the importance of him talking to only white people that come here. Yeah? And the lady who wrote the book wrote it about how Stuart. Yeah, how Stuart they like that. And how Stuart they love Africans. But it was a lie. Because if I went to a school that emphasized the white, yeah, at my young age, I never give one hand. A white people will love, a white people will love. And she pretended as if Stuart never had that thing about him, but he did. He was very much like every other person in society who fantasized the white people. So there's some parts in the book in which I'm not saying she's not credible, my friend. She's very much credible.
She's a critiquing.
But you must understand that she may have had bias towards you. Yeah. Yeah. She may have had that bias.
How we know she was like, because it's a contradiction.
Yeah, there's some things in that book when you read where you said this just don't make no sense.
Because
But-
even when you never do the exam, like,
Mhm.
she said nothing about like,
He went away from the exam because he had a family to feed. Come
Yeah.
on.
that makes sense.
He got no
At
family.
least try.
There's something there that we don't know, but the meat of the matter is the author. You think some me I go talk bad about my father? If me no say my father don't know?
How when you,
I'm offended. I think
when you get divorced, not about
not about the divorce. These are things you have to think about when writing the essay, but we won't delve into it. Here we won't go into it. So that is how you write your theory. Everybody understand the body of the essay. And you do 3, 4 of that, and you're good to go. The last part is
conclusion.
the conclusion. In Jesus' name, it's like how you would have written any other conclusion. Yeah? Oh, yes, I'm not concluding. No, yeah, you can.
That could
You
be
can-
about resistance as well, because
It could be about resistance. But let me tell you, in terms, she's asking persons on YouTube and Zoom if she could talk on the identity about Martinique not being an independent country up to today, not sure. Up to today. So you can talk about the fact that they're still struggling in finding their own sense of identity because of how they rely so much away on France.
economically.
Yeah. But we'll get into that. And like I said, let's go to conclusion. No conclusion for me. Yes, Uriel? Yes, Uriel? Marxism, for those who are wondering, that comes under political movement, or if you just want to put it as a thing itself. But I normally put it as political movements because it would have stirred Pan-Africanism, negritude, and just overall how we operate as a, you understand me, Uriel? So that's how I would have put it under political movements. Yes?
More departmentalization, would that be a team to itself or under the same
It
policy?
could be, or you could put it in under. All right, so those who want to understand what Marxism is, I don't know. Can we bring another person? Marxism is a sociological theory created by Karl Marx that delves in the concept of society being divided into 2 groups. Proletariats, which are the very poor people, and the working people, and bourgeoisie, who are the persons who control society. Yes? In our case here, or in Caesar's case, Black people would have been considered the proletariat, the working people, And white people, as well as the persons who are colonizers, would be considered the bourgeoisie. Yeah,
Okay.
let's go into conclusion. Go down, baby. All right, so we're going into conclusion now, yes? And then we end it off. Conclusion, you make a summary of everything. Everything. You talk about the importance of the book to understanding Caribbean civilization. That's not really a young, nobody say, you know. This book has different concepts, and that dealt with the things that we see happening now in Caribbean society. And nobody said things like that. And then we say, give your personal view. Did you like this book? Did it anyway contribute to your understanding? You can honestly say,
To friendship.
personally, the book itself became difficult for me to understand as a member of the English speaking
Yeah.
Caribbean. And there's also the disconnection because our history is somewhat different from,
Mhm.
yeah.
Is Martinique a majority black country or?
Yeah, it's majority black now.
So someone is asking where the compartmentalization is being that fall under.
Let me check. Define departmentalization for me.
Like they want to, in the book, Cesar wanted to still be, like under France, but he wanted, departmental control, so they wanted more autonomy. And to make
Yeah, man,
decisions.
that's either political movements or Caribbean identity. But I will put it on the political movement. Yes, Jackie.
There were points, while they were disconnected, there were points that, you know, to the next cycle that would have been strikingly similar. In certain aspects, he spoke about the himself, and he made the point of the Negro, where the French perspective of his black identity. You could see that, you know, racism played a part, racism from his French identity would have played a part in the himself, and can relate that to our own culture.
Right.
Like immediately thought about how into the older folks, they have a certain
Concept of what is still pretty. Yeah.
maybe
Yes.
oh, and push towards our own race.
Yeah.
It's like a thing from various things. So as much as the person something like this and I saw that, it really was similar.
To what it was. Yeah, man, there are things that are similar there. So whenever we look into the theme of racism, and I'm saying it here, I always, whenever they say explain, I always say to persons to let the reader know that even up to this day, the Caribbean society struggle with accepting who we are as white people. And that's why we have the concept of a watered down racism, which is hilarious. I always put that in. I always said to whenever you write about racism, remind that we're still struggling to accept us. Yeah. But back to conclusion. So our conclusion is very simple. You make a summary of everything. You can say, it is safe to say that from reading the book, a list of things that can assist in defining who we are as a Caribbean society. Yeah. We talk about the importance of the book to understanding Caribbean civilization. Simple fanciness, nothing too fussy. Your personal view, whether you like the book or not. Do you believe the book was bad? Do you believe the book was fair? Do you believe the book they give full information? And then end it nicely. This is how I always end mine. Whoever it is I write about, I always say that person is indeed a legend worthy of that title for mass contribution to who we are as Caribbean. Always like it. And anytime I'm doing a session, I change the name. Huh? I'm just ending. You're just ending it nicely. And best believe, you just wrote your book. B plus the least. B plus the least. Yes, you may. Yes, baby. It can be linked to the volcanic eruption, and how it changed, what Martinique was. It can be linked about first. So when we talk about mass migration, thank you for your question, so I can say to you too. I always look in the fact that majority of the persons for education went overseas. I also look at the fact that there was a period in which work was overseas. And so that's how we had a lot of people moving, to France or to Britain,
But
to actually make a life for
the
themselves.
persons also moved from France to Martinique.
After they make their money.
No, during the war.
During the war, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, never got
Because even in the book, when Cesar never do the exam and go away.
and go over. So mass migration is about how you want to put it. You can talk about the fact that people didn't move up to France. You can talk about the fact that people move back. And then you can talk about the effects of mass migration. The fact that mass migration contributed into creating a Caribbean identity. Yes, Pumpkin? Yes. Oh yeah, we can talk about mass migration still being something happening in current society. So explain the talk about that. And why we end up with so much content of barrier technique. It's because of mass migration. You get what I'm saying? And then you talk about the fact that even with education now, we still have overseas going. To be honest, the theme is there, the work is there, you just never know.
Yeah, I never understand.
Yeah, but I think you guys are good to go. If you have a question in the Zoom, please write it. I cannot hear you, I swear. Oh my bad. If I'm gonna give my number, you are allowed to message me starting 8 a.m. tomorrow. When we leave here tonight, I'm going to sleep. Oh, yeah. If I don't respond to you immediately, it's probably because I'm reading somebody's book. But I guarantee you, I will go through everybody. Hmm? Oh yeah, and my email. Yes, sir. You know, I send my number 567 0913. YouTube, I can text in YouTube for me, please. So my contact is 567-876, because we have persons from Trinidad and we have persons from Kingdom. 567, yeah, there's a lot of persons who look forward to this book report session each semester. Excelsior College also does the book report. I don't know why, but they do it soon. Mm-hmm. All right, you see, that's why I said to you, send, I would really and truly love if you sent it in the chat, because my computer is very low, and after you said classes in, I heard nothing else. All right. Yeah, you can text me, yeah. Yeah, guys. So stop stressing yourself. Go home and sleep. Yeah. And stop allowing them. If you still don't understand, send me a message. Oh, my email is Omolora Wilson, OMOLORA Wilson, WILSON @gmail.com. I would not recommend you sending me an email, by the way.
Identity.
Mass migration? Mass migration itself is a theme. Can I write? Oh, yes, I forgot to say. So I have a document that, let me just load it up right now. So look for the, let me stop sharing and then let me start sharing the entire screen. My battery got dead. So you see, right on time. Look at God. Share screen. How do that?
Gloria, I can send this all right there.
Huh?
You can send.
Yeah, man. So I go send the, if you message me, I send the document. All right. So this is the document that Sammy gives each year. Normally it's a lot more, but these are the points that Sammy gave. I don't argue with Sammy. But it was sent in the video today. But here are the examples of some of the things that are discussed. You realize certification. Ooh. We have a Carib group with over 500 persons.
It's all me not in there.
Oh, then we create one next one.
Never know that.
We don't know if they create one next time. We just say. But persons on YouTube, we have a document. Come, let me show you. I'm gonna turn the video on, and yeah. So there is a document, and it has stratification, popular movement, regionalism, literary revolt, internal self-government / departmentalization, and they also have Marxism and politics, psychology, and they give you a little bit of criticism, yeah? But all of this is there. I hope you guys are seeing the screen. But even if you're not seeing the screen, send me an email and I'll send you the information. YouTube. So send me an email, YouTube, and I'll send you the information, all right? But all of this is here. Every single one of this information is there. And Sammy also has a layout about how you do your introduction, transitional words, all of that. Yeah? And it's easy for you. So if you email me, I'll send it to you and you're good to go. All right? Do we have any more questions before I go? Is there anything you need before I go? Just the documents? Yes, hon? If we have to criticize the author, you mean the conclusion? No, we don't have to criticize. No, we don't have to criticize the author, you know. It's up to you. It's completely up to you. 56. My contact is 567-0913. In Jesus' name. My email is extremely full. It says 50, so I don't want to tell you to email me. I end up emailing me and it really don't pop up in the email. All right? Yeah. I receive it until, I would say probably around 10 o'clock, 11. 10 o'clock, 11 tomorrow. After 10 o'clock, 11 tomorrow, yeah, I'll probably just see. That's it. All the best, guys. If you have any questions, give me a call. You're welcome, babies. All the best. Yeah, you guys. Ask me how to end it now.